All right, we're back in the SDRC shop. We're going to do the next stage of our VITAVON Kraton 6S build series here. And tonight I'll be reviewing and installing the upper front arms, suspension arms, the upper suspension mount, and it comes with the pins. And this is the mount that goes right here under your top plate. I'll also be installing and reviewing the front lower suspension pin mounts. That's these two. There's a front one and a rear one, both for the front though, but front and rear, and the pins that go with it. So we're going to get into this. I'll give you all the weights of the parts compared to the Arrma pieces and components, and I'll show you that on the screen here in a second. But for now, we're going to start by, I think first thing I'll do is I'll install the arms onto the knuckles here, and you got to thread these in. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll show you what it's like right after it's done. All right, I've got those two upper suspension arms mounted now, threaded onto the pillow ball studs right there. And now I just have to get the pin mounts put on. I will start by doing the back top one. That's this one right here. I'll get that put on and I'll show you what it looks like. These are really nice pieces. They're, as you can see, done with the VITAVON brand there, machined into there. Also, another thing to mention is they have grub screws. You can see right there on the side, that's a grub screw. So you undo that grub screw, then the pin comes out, and you put the pin back in, tighten down the grub screw. Don't forget to use the Loctite, and the pin won't come out then. So good to go. We'll get that mounted and I'll show you what it's like. One more thing I wanted to mention about these arms, make sure you, when you go to thread them in, the pillow ball studs, that you add some Loctite to those so they don't work themselves out after use, because metal on aluminum threads, always use your Loctite. All right, let's get on with this and I'll show you what it's like when these mounts are on. All right, I've got the upper rear mount there in. That's the suspension pin mount right there I'm pointing at. And like I said, make sure you use Loctite, blue Loctite on those grub screws for the pins. That'll hold them in there and not let them work their way loose. And the arms are all mounted on the top there, looking really good. The next thing I'm going to do is mount I'm thinking the rear lower hinge pin mount. So I'm going to get that mounted on there, and then I'll show you what that's like before I install the rest. All right, I've got that rear suspension pin mount on there. There's just two screws right there, one there, one there. That's what holds it on. Looking good. All right, we're going to get the next mount on. Just screw that onto the front, and then I'll put the arms on with the VITAVON suspension pins. All right, we've got that front suspension mount there put on. Before you put it on, you obviously have to put the pins through your arms here. I put those VITAVON pins, the brand new ones. You put them into your arms and into the back mount, and then on both sides get your pins in. And then you put this on top over the pins, and you screw the screws in, the two screws right there, countersunk screws. Make sure you use your blue Loctite if you have a bulkhead that's aluminum, so that the screws don't back out. If you're using just a plastic bulkhead, you don't have to Loctite those screws, obviously. All right, we're gonna finish off this video. I got this front end pretty much all back together, looking good. Everything fit nicely. The next video we're gonna have will be for the VITAVON CVD drive axles for each corner, going from your hub to your diff here on the front and the rear. So that'll be in the next videos. Check out for that. Stay tuned for that. Hit the notifications so you don't miss that video. And if you're not subscribed, go and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And give me a big thumbs up on this video if it helped you out or you got any information from that. Make sure you share to your friends too if you can. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, we're out.